Hello and welcome to this app tour for the Life Church app. There's so much you can do with the Life Church app, so we like to walk through all of the different possibilities so you don't miss anything. So you saw me just now open the Life Church app and I'm on the home screen after you saw the splash screen appear there for a second. And in the top right corner, you'll see a paper airplane. So that's the first thing I want to walk through. Now, if you just downloaded the app, you would have had a pop-up appear and it would have asked you if you want push notifications. So first of all, we highly advise you accept push notifications because that allows Life Church to more easily communicate with you. But then, even if you do accept push notifications, it's a good idea to go up and press that paper airplane in the top right corner of the home screen. And this will show you all of the different categories for push notifications. So you can see I said I want to have push notifications. So the allow notifications option at the top is toggled on. But you can see all of the different other options down here at the bottom are toggled off. What these are different things that you want specific notifications about. So Life Church can send out a notification to the whole church, which I will get because I have it toggled on, or they can target a specific ministry, which right now I won't get. So let's say I have a youth student in R3, so I'm going to toggle that on because I want to get notifications about that. I want to get notifications about men's ministry, and I'm on the worship team, so now I am ready to go. So I'm not going to be getting notifications about kids because I don't have interest in getting notifications about kids. I personally don't have interest in getting notifications about women's ministry, so you can see as I go down this, the things that I'm not interested about getting notifications about, when Life Church pushes about them now, they send out notifications about them now, I will not get those notifications. However, if they specifically target something that is relevant to me, I will get notifications about it now. So this way, if Life Church needs to send out 7 notifications in a week targeting different ministries, that doesn't mean I'm personally getting 7 notifications where 5 of them are irrelevant to me. I will only get the notifications relevant to me. And if there is a church-wide notification, like for whatever reason, church has to be canceled this week, or there's a barbecue this Sunday or whatever, everyone will still get it as long as they have notifications in general turned on. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how notifications can work. They are so powerful and probably the best way for Life Church to communicate. So make sure to have these turned on if you have the Life Church app. I'm going to go ahead and press the back button in the top left corner now, and now we're back at the home screen. So you can see on the home screen here, we have a number of options that we can choose from. And then at the bottom of the screen, you have the tabs, which are Home, Share, Events, Giving, Connect. The tabs give you quick and easy access to specific sections of the app, no matter where you are in the app. Whereas the rest of these colored tiles you're seeing on the home screen, some of these options are only accessible from the home section. So I'm just going to go through these one by one. First of all, you see the Connect card, and the Connect card takes you to the Connect card on the Life Church website. So this is great because it makes it very easy for you to connect with Life Church, and oftentimes you'll have the Connect card at church. For whatever reason, it doesn't get filled out. So now you can easily fill out the card from home or from wherever you are using the Life Church app. You can see also Pray First and Serve. These also take you to those different sections of the Life Church website. But next up is Life Groups, and this is an awesome tool for getting access to Life Church life groups. So you can see right here, a lot of the life groups take place at Life Church. So you're going to have the pin, which I believe is the C pin, which on the map there is going to be a lot of these groups. I'm going to go ahead and select the B Adult LG Herb Bearden. So that's the second item in the list there. I'm just going to touch that row, and you can see the map will zoom to that location, highlight that pin. It brought B to the foreground. So let's say there had been pins all over the map here. You'd be able to easily tell where the different pins are, but right now we have a bunch of pins layered on top of each other. So you can see it scrolled B to the top of the list, and it even brought in that gray bar with the different options. So I'm going to go ahead and scroll this menu. You can see I scrolled up and down. That option went away. I'm going to press C International LG, and boom, you can see it scrolled that to the top now. So it scrolls whatever you chose to the top of the list and then brings in all the different ways you can interact with that. And then you can call the leader of that group, you can email the leader of that group, or you can even sign up for that group. And remember, I said there could be an instance where we have pins all over the map. If you want, you don't need to search by the list of groups at the bottom. You can even zoom the map around, zoom into the map, I should say scroll the map around, zoom into the map, and you can even touch a pin. So this time I'm going to touch the G pin. And you can see the G is the very bottom option, so it couldn't scroll up any further than the very bottom. But you can see it highlights G, it says it's men's LG, and you can see at the bottom of the list there is men's LG, and then it brings in the options as well. So the life group section allows you to search by location using the map at the top and touching the pin that you're interested in, which probably is a pin that's the closest to you, or you can search by name, time, which you can see is listed in the list below, or by picture. So that gives you an idea of just how powerful it is to use the life group section to sign up, to connect, call by calling or email, and it's an awesome tool for searching however you want to search for a life group or connect with your life group leader. So I'm going to go ahead and press the back button in the top left corner, and I'm going to save share for last. So let's go over to life moments on the right hand side. And Life Moments is going to be the Life Moments video for this week. So the video that comes up will always be the current Life Moments video. So as soon as that video is posted on YouTube, the video will be accessible here within the app. So if you ever, let's say it's Monday and you're like, man, what were the announcements for Sunday? You can come in here to the Life Moments section. It's always going to be that one. So easy. You don't have to search on YouTube. You don't have to open any website. It's just ready right here inside the Life Church app to watch. Next up is Notes. The notes section gives you the sermon outline for this week. So you can see this week was from the Doors series, and the sermon is the light of the world. You can see the sermon notes have an awesome banner at the top when it's added, a short summary, and then you can see you have your notes outline here, so you can follow along with the sermon on Sunday morning from within the Life Church app. But even more than that, you can see at the top of the screen, it says touch any section to take a note. So that means, well, let's try it out. I'll touch any section. You see a definition of door is an entrance. So I'm just going to go ahead and touch that text. And you can see it brings up the ability for me to type something. I'll just type, I like the definition of door. And I'm going to say add. And you can see now next to that text, there's a little symbol showing I have taken a note on that section. So I'm just going to go ahead and scroll down and say, oh, look, here's point 1. I'll say, I really like what point 1 says. And I'm going to say add, and you can see there's another symbol now next to point 1. So if I scroll up and down and you look at the left hand side of the screen, you can see it's really easy to tell where notes have been taken for this sermon. So once the message is done, I'll probably be at the bottom because I got to the end of the sermon, and you can see there's an email sermon button. So I'm going to go ahead and press that, and you'll see it brings up an email, and then there's definition of a door, and you can see below that is personal note, I like the definition of door, which is what you watched me write, and you can see it's in line where I took it. So there's the point on the outline, and then right after that is my note. So if we scroll down here to point 1, there's point 1. I really like what point 1 says. So it now takes that outline, builds it out in an email that I can send to myself, and it puts my notes where I took them within the outline. So now I can email it to myself, and this is something really cool we've had people actually tell us about, is that they'll set up a folder in their email client and make it so the emails from their church's sermons are automatically put in that folder. So now they have an archive of all of the sermon notes with their notes in them, and now instead of having to write your notes in the margins on paper and then worry about losing those paper notes, you can write as much as you want, and all of those notes will be saved as long as you email them. But just make sure to email those notes to yourself once the message is over, because when next week's notes are posted, so the following week, your notes here will be overwritten by those notes. So make sure to email those so you have them archived. Last of all, you can see in the bottom right corner, there's magnifying glasses, one with a plus and one with a minus. So I'm going to press the plus magnifying glass, and you can see it makes the font bigger and bigger. And if I press the minus magnifying glass, it makes the font smaller and smaller. And then the app will remember what size you've set. So next week when you come to the sermon outline on Sunday morning, the note should be the same font size as what you selected the previous week. So I'm going to press the back button in the top left now. And next up is worship, and this will take us to the Life Church worship playlist on Spotify. So I'm going to go ahead and press worship, and it's going to ask me, I've never pressed this in the app before, so it's going to ask me if it's okay to open Spotify. So if I didn't have Spotify downloaded, instead of showing this, it would ask me if I want to download Spotify. But since I already have it downloaded, it just asked me if I want to open it, so I'm going to go ahead and press open. So if you don't have Spotify and it asks ask you to download it. After you download it, the next time it'll show you that prompt asking if you want to open it. And after you do that, any other time you press it, it'll take you directly to this screen where you can start listening to Life Church worship. So this is pretty cool because you can start listening to worship. I could just press shuffle play. This is a free account, so I'm paying nothing to Spotify. I could press shuffle play, and then I can go ahead in the top left corner, you can see it says Life Church, and I can go right back into the Life Church app, and I can have Life Church worship playing while I'm navigating the app. Or if I just want to have Life Church worship playing, that's a really easy way to access the playlist and just start it playing, and then I can just back out and having it played in the background. But even neater is you could start that worship playing to start your devotional time, whether it's in the morning or in the evening or whenever you have your devotions. But you could start the worship playlist, and then while the music is playing, come back into the Life Church app and head over to the reading plan, which is that tile to the right of the worship tile. So I'm going to go ahead and press that, and you can see it opens a reading plan designed and built into the Life Church app. So what you can see here is it says we're on reading for day 1 of week 1, which is Genesis 1, 1 through 31, and Genesis 2, 1 through 25. So I'm going to select Genesis 1, 1 through 31, and you can see the text is right here in the app, ready to read. On the right-hand side, you can see you have those magnifying glasses again, so you can zoom in or zoom out and make the text whatever size you want it to be. And then I'm going to go ahead below the magnifying glass. You can see there's an arrow pointing left and an arrow pointing right. So the arrow pointing right will take you to the next passage in today's reading. The arrow pointing left will take you back, which in this case, I'm going to press the arrow pointing left. It'll take me back because there's no more. We were already in the first reading, so it just takes me back here. But you can see now there is a check mark for Genesis 1, 1 through 31 because I have read that passage. If I backed out of the app and killed it on iOS, that means I would double press the home button and swipe it to close the app, and came back into the app would still remember that I have read Genesis 1, 1 through 31. So the app keeps track of every passage that you have read. So even if you don't want to read the full day's reading, it'll still keep track of the fact that you read half or a third of the day's reading if there happened to be 3 passages. So let's go back into Genesis 1, 1 through 31. I'm going to press the forward arrow this time instead. Now we're on Genesis 2, 1 through 25. I'm going to go ahead and read that or scroll through it like I'm reading it, and then I'm going to press the forward arrow again, and you can see it says you have completed today's reading. So I'm going to press close, and now the app will remember, so that tomorrow when I open the app up again, it will take me to day 2 of week 1, and it will keep me on track to continuing through reading through the Bible reading plan for a year. Now, this Bible reading plan is actually designed to read 5 days of the week instead of 7 days of the week. And the reason for that is to make it so you don't feel like you're falling behind if you miss a day. So the idea is just to pace yourself to be able to read 5 days of the week. And I'm just going to go ahead and press. You can see at the bottom, it says week 1, and that's written above the number 1. And there's arrows to the right and left. I'm going to press the right arrow, and you can see it'll take me to day 2, day 3, and you can see on some days, like I believe, let's see, I think on day 2, on day 2 of week 2, and look at that, there's check marks here already because the app remembers I actually read those before. So the app remembers that way back when I have opened this app days ago, I read those for whatever reason, and it remembers that I did that. But you can see also there's 3 passages on this day. But let's say you're in a scenario where you run into someone at church and they're like, man, we've been doing the reading plan. We love it. You've got to join us and be reading through it together with us every week. Well, what if they're on week 32, day 5 or something? Well, that puts you in a weird spot where, yeah, sure, you could quickly go through and open every single scripture so that the app remembers that you've read them, or you could actually read up to that point, but that could be a bit overwhelming. But also in the top right corner, you can see a picture of a clock with an arrow around it. And this gives you the ability, remember, I went up to week 2, day 2, that's why it's what's showing here, but that gives you the ability where you could go all the way up to week 35, day 5, and you just caught up with them. Because the app will now treat you like you are on that day and have read up to that point. And if you shut the app and reopen it, it will treat you like you've read up to that point. So if you read that day, it'll automatically take you to week 36, day 1. So you're on track with them, and you can then keep pace with them without having to do any weird sort of thing to catch up with them. So that walks through the power of the reading plan. Next up, we have messages. So the bottom left tile, that yellow tile, is messages. And this takes me into the messages, the archived messages from Life Church. And you can see they're even divided by sermon series. So the top one is Doors, which is actually those sermon notes we were looking at earlier in the notes section. So now I have this where I can go in and I can watch the message for the Door series, but I could do this for any of them. So if I wanted to go back and say, man, I love the relationship goals series, well, there they are. They're really easy to find and they're categorized there, so you can easily get to a specific sermon series and select a sermon from that sermon series. And if there is a message that either means a lot to you and you just want to share it with everyone on social media, or maybe you think it would mean something to someone that's going through a hard time, or for whatever reason, in the top right corner there's a share button. If I press that, it gives me all of the different ways that I can share this message, whether by message or email, to personally share it, or on social media, on Twitter or Facebook if I wanted to. I mean, I could technically target someone on those if I wanted to share it personally still, or I could just share it with everyone that follows me. All right, so let's go back into the home section once again. So next up is events. So events takes you to a list of all of the events that are going on at Life Church. And this may seem, you may ask yourself, well, why in the world would I have this calendar with an add to calendar button? You see, the add to calendar button is for each item when I already have a calendar here. And that's because right now you're looking at Life Church's calendar, but this is not your own calendar. So when I look at this, when my calendar sends me notifications, it's not going to send me notifications about any of these because this is not my calendar. But remember, I said I wanted to sign up for R3 notifications so I get notifications about youth. In the same way, I probably want to have these Fine Arts Festival events on my calendar. So all I have to do is select Add to Calendar. I've never added an event to my calendar before from the Life Church app. So the first thing it's going to ask is it okay for us to add events from the Life Church app to your personal calendar? In this case, an iCal, because I'm on my iPhone. I'm going to say, okay, that sounds great. So now the event has been added to my actual device calendar. My wife's calendar is also synced with my calendar. So really, this has basically synced our whole family up so that Fine Arts Festival event is now added to my calendar. And I'm probably going to want the May 5th event added as well. I'll press it. And this time, boom, it added it right away because I've already given the app permission. So this is pretty cool because now I can just quickly scroll through this, find every event that's relevant to me and my family, and just quickly press add to calendar, add to calendar, add to calendar. And let's say there were 50 events on this list. In a matter of less than a minute, I can probably add every event that's relevant to me. And the cool thing about this is oftentimes you'll have a scenario where a church might allow you to sync their calendar with your calendar. But just like notifications, remember we said I probably don't want every notification that Life Church sends out to all of the different ministries because many of them probably aren't relevant to me. In the same way, I probably don't want to sync every event up that Life Church has going on because every event may not be relevant to me. So now I can sync just the events that are relevant to me, and I can do it very, very quickly. Next up, next to the Add to Calendar button, you can see there's an information button, which I'm going to press for that top item on May 4th. And it will bring up all of the additional information that's available for that event. So you can see that it says to check the website for more info. I can contact David, and it gives an email address, and I can also register at that website. So I can just go ahead and press the email button and it will bring up a form and it fills out the subject using the title of that event. So remember, the event was called R3 Fine Arts Festival. So it makes the subject contacting about and then whatever the event is called. So in this case, contacting about R3 Fine Arts Festival, and it fills out the email address for whoever it goes to. So all you need to do is press email, and then you can just start typing whatever you want and press send, and it's that easy to contact someone about the event if there is email built into the event. So you can see for Special Mother's Day, there is no additional content. So in this case, there's no one to contact for email. It's just to show you on the calendar there's a special Mother's Day service. Also, you can see when registration is available. There is a button that shows up right here on the front of the calendar saying register for events. So I can quickly scroll through all of the events and see which events have the ability to register for them, and I don't have to go and click information for each event just to see if I can register. So for May 4th, if I wanted to register my youth for that, I could just go ahead and press the register button. It'll take me right to the page where I would register the youth for that event, which makes it so easy to register for an event. All right, so you can see at the bottom there, I'm actually in the Events tab right now. So I'm going to go ahead and press the Home tab on the bottom left corner of the screen there. And then the last thing we have here is Giving. So I'm going to go ahead and select the Giving button in the bottom right, and you can see the tab at the bottom of the screen, the second tab to the right, highlighted as well because it took me into that tab. So here we have the ability to digitally give, or it shows how we can give in person, showing the location of Life Church, or also if you wanted to say mail a check if you're watching remotely, because now you could easily watch the service using the messages section of the app. So all I would do is just touch that screen, and I'm not going to do it here, but it would just take me right into where I can digitally give using the app. So last of all, what you didn't see in the home screen is the Connect section, and the only way to access the Connect section is the bottom right corner of the screen, which is the Connect tab. So I'm going to go ahead and press that. And it takes me into the Connect section, which, ta-da, takes me to different ways I can connect with Life Church. So you can see I can email, call, get directions to church, but also it has a number of areas of the website that I can access, as well as social media. And the social media will actually take me into this corresponding social media app. So for instance, with Instagram, I press it and it asks if I want to open the Instagram app. So the reason that it would do this instead of just displaying Instagram in-app is if you open the Instagram app, then that means you can actually interact with Life Church. So it gives you the ability to interact. But if you don't have Instagram, don't have Facebook, don't have Twitter, it will just take you to a web page showing the content where you're not logged in. So last of all, remember we talked about that yellow share button in the middle, and you can see it's also the second tab to the left. So I'm going to go ahead and press that button, and you're going to see my camera come up. Then I'm going to flip the camera around. Hey! And there's me looking funny. And you can see in the bottom left corner, I have the ability to retake. In the bottom right corner, I have the ability to use the photo. And at the top of the screen, I have the ability to use the library. So technically, I could use my photo library instead of taking a picture. So I'm going to press Use Photo to use this great picture of me. And you can see at the bottom of the screen now, it says tap an image to add it to your picture. So now I have all of these different images I can add to my picture to add branding for Life Church to my picture. So let's say it's Saturday and I want to invite people to join me at church, and I want to post on Facebook, but I want to do something that will catch people's attention. I can press this "Where will you be this Sunday?" and it will add it to my post. I could put it up here, add it to my post, and it says once you're finished, use the share button or the close button. So that's just to give you information about what you can do once you're done. But that doesn't mean I'm done. So I can add this wherever I want to my post. And then I can also, let's add a Life Church logo. So I can do this, and then I can, all I'm doing there is just using my finger to drag it around the screen, pinching to zoom. And then I can just go ahead in the top right corner and say share. And I can go ahead and go right to Facebook, and while I'm still in the Life Church app, it brings up a post with that picture where I can write something like, join me tomorrow at Life Church for the Doors series. Whoops, be good if I typed right, huh? It's amazing. And you can see now I have this picture, I have that text that I've added, but the thing about having this picture with the branding built in is it's something that will really catch people's attention. So this gives you a way that you can reach out to the community and easily use the Life Church app to be able to reach out. So something that we try to take seriously is that we want to be able to help people use the Life Church app to, one, be able to connect with God. So that's going to be doing things like the Bible reading plan, being able to listen to worship music, and things like that. We want to be able to help people be able to connect with Life Church, obviously, and that's doing things like push notifications and being able to view the calendar. But we also want to be able to help people connect with the community and be able to bring them into Life Church and give tools to easily be able to do that. So this is an excellent example of something that makes it so easy, whether you want to text or email a picture and create some branding or something that will catch people's attention and be able to invite them to Life Church and talk about, hey, what's going on at Life Church. And also, you don't have to just do this personally for you. You could also be at Life Church in the youth area, something really funny is happening or something really awesome is happening. You could go ahead and go in here and take a picture. I'm going to go ahead and discard this post. You could take a picture and you can see we also have R3 students, and you could add R3 branding to a picture, and it just gives you an easy way to add branding for Life Church to a picture to be able to share. So that walks through what you can do with the share, and we have walked through everything that's obvious in the app, but there's one thing we have not walked through, and it is not obvious that you can do it right here, because what it is what you can do in iMessage. So right here, I'm texting with my wife, but what I can do is I can go in here and I can select to add a sticker. And Life Church now within iMessage, once you have the Life Church app downloaded, you actually have access to iMessage stickers where you can just scroll through stickers and you can hold your finger on them and drag them anywhere in your conversation and add them to the conversation, making it so you can do fun things, invite people. This is one more way that you can actually reach out to the community and add fun things where you could say something to someone, ask them if they're what they're doing this Sunday, you want to join me at church, and it's an awesome way to reach out to the community. So hopefully this video has helped you understand all of the things you can do with the Life Church app. If you want to know all the different things possible with the FaithLink app, visit our website at faithlinkapps.com. Have a great day.